Hey guys, I'm Mr. Rolly, and here we do rants and reviews. Today, we're going to be talking about Demonologist. So first we have to talk about what is Demonologist. Well, Steam's overall view of it is a co-op horror game that can be played with at least one and up to 4 players. Your goal is to identify the type of evil spirit in cursed places and exorcise it using your equipment, either alone or with your team. It's pretty much Phasphomia, but if it got an upgrade with graphics. Pretty much what it is, and it's great. So you go around hunting ghosts with your same type of equipment as every ghost hunter has on every TV show and every game you've ever played. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is the lobby. The reason why we're going to be talking about the lobby is it's the first thing you spawn into and the first thing you see. And most importantly, it's one of the most unique things among these ghost hunting kind of video games. You see, Demonologist did something slightly different than all the rest. They added customization to the maps, which you can unlock using money that you earn per map that you play. Now, while also unlocking these special objects like animals and pets and silverware, statues, and all sorts of stuff, they also added fun little demon things that respond to your voice that you can activate, which is fun to discover all the uniqueness in these maps. So I found that quite fun and entertaining. Now we're going to be talking about the gameplay, the meat of this whole entire meal. Gameplay is pretty fun, for the most part. Now, whenever they release an update to this game, it does create more glitches and more problems. As they continue to add more stuff into the game, they're adding new kind of multiple levels and such to it. But overall, it's a great experience. They keep on it, they keep changing it. The maps look amazing. This game is highly graphical. It looks amazing. It looks somewhat realistic for the most part. The ghosts and demons are great. There's a lot of interactiveness to this game. It's heavily on the voice activation. They've changed it up a bit. Instead of just all mechanical stuff, it is nicely well drawn and animated and everything. They have their own personality kind of look to it, is what I mean by that. It's very fun to look at. It's very different to look at than if you were to compare it to like Phasphomia. The look fits the theme, is what I mean to say. Other than just, there kind of is a slight glitch with this. You know, if you're holding 3 items and you swap between 2 items, that third item when you go swap to it might not be in your hands anymore, but it says it is in your hands. And that was a big issue. It kind of happens every once in a while still. But other than that, it still kind of happens every once in a while. The next issue with these items is one that they already know about and they keep changing it, and it is getting better. But it's the canvas and the ESG. The canvas and the ESG are the hardest things for these equipment to fully work. Because the ESG is way too fast, so unless you're like really looking at it, it just pops up and pops away. And it's like, add a delay timer to it or something, like at least another 2 seconds. Allow it sit there for a second so you can actually goddamn see it, because if your back is turned, you don't know what the hell is happening. The painting does work well, but it can take some time for some reason, and that causes issues. But overall, these are small, minor incidents. Like with ESG, usually if you don't see anything else after like 10 minutes, you can usually just count the ESG as ESG confirmed, and usually it works. And the invisible item, if you just keep swapping your items in and out, it'll usually show up again after a minute or 2. It can be a hassle, it can be frustrating. But yeah, it's not that bad. Sadly to say though, near the end of all of their lobbies that you can unlock, they're starting to lack in that kind of feeling. I recommend only using the first 3 lobbies, but after that, sadly enough, it's feeling a bit rushed in that department. But the first 3 will blow you away, and they're always fun to go around and explore with your friends. So if you don't have a mic, you're a bit screwed in that department, because this game revolves around the idea that you'll go around and interact with each and every single map, house, building that you go into. And if you can't do that, there's no point in playing this game, essentially. Unless you have somebody who else can use a microphone. But this game does heavily rely on having a voice. There are some slight issues. Every time Demonologist comes out with an update, for the longest time, I've always had problems when playing with my friends in this game, or ghosts were spawning in the wrong areas, or they were spawning, technically they're supposed to spawn above you in the room that they're supposed to be in, but they're spawning below you, so whenever they would hunt, they would just be right behind you to kill you, because when they're hunting, you want to run away. But they would spawn in the wrong areas, you'd be useless. There were times where for several months, you just get unlucky, and they would just haunt you for like 10 to 20 minutes, and it was just the most boringest, stupidest thing. Because in this game, they can haunt you and then immediately haunt you again, and that sucks because it goes on for so long. But they're starting to fix it a bit. It's a hit and miss every time they do an update, and each update comes with new content, and so they're working on it at least.